how to best level up alts using Radiant Echoes event. My friends, welcome back to the channel. Do you need another alt? No, chances are you don't, especially considering that Mists of Pandaria remix was here for a while and we leveled everything imaginable. I have as well. I certainly don't need another alt. But let's pretend that we both want to, because I know I occasionally want to. And plus, look, now Blizzard has improved the UI, given us warbands. Ultimately, we are playing for fun. I level some things, but then I delete characters. You can restore them later, who cares? At the moment, it's all about spending time in the game with a little bit of fun element. So it's not about should you roll an alt right now. It's not about should you. It's about if you would like to, here is the best way of doing it. Makes sense? Give the video a like as always, and let's talk about leveling in Radiant Echoes event. Yes, as you have guessed it, already I have just leveled an alt. And to make it a little bit more fun for myself, I've rolled a dwarf, finally. It's my very first dwarf in, what, 20 years of playing World of Warcraft? I don't know how long the game has been around, 20, I think, yeah? Yes, so this is my first dwarf ever. And it's an iron dwarf, of course, because they are edgy. So, what do I think? I think that Mists of Pandaria leveling was, of course, more efficient and a little more exotic as well. So, with those two things out of the way, it became quite repetitive. Mists of Pandaria Remix, it's hard to believe, has been here for what, 60 days or something? And people like me, alcoholics like me, have been just chilling. That was just my chilling process, and I spoke to you plentifully. There have been so many videos on my channel about leveling in Mists of Pandaria Remix. I will remember those times really, really fondly. But it's over now. Yes, it was more efficient, but let's say you suddenly decided to level a character last week just before the expansion launches. And yes, I'm well aware that it's less than a week left until early access, but not all of us were investing enough to get access early. Yeah, so I didn't buy that expensive edition that will give me access early. Who cares? I don't care. It only makes me, you know, more excited to wait another week, get all my affairs in order, and then start World of Warcraft The War Within just a week later, just with a normal launch time. I don't care. So, let's say you want to spend this week leveling. I leveled this new Death Knight within 3 evenings. 3 evenings after work, I spent maybe a couple of hours each evening, kind of just casually just flying around Radiant Echoes, and that was enough to level to 70. It was a lot less kind of purposeful, it was a lot more passive, which is a good thing. So speaking of leveling an alt just casually of a race class combination that you don't have yet, that possibly would be a reason why you would roll another paladin, another something, anything. Yeah, almost anything. You make your way to Dalaran, you make your way to that portal room, and you participate in the echoes. Just a few tips, very kind of, they seem to be obvious, but some of them are not so much. First of all, while Radiant Echoes event has improved drastically ever since my first complaint video that I'm still proud of, because I'm not a complacent white knight, I drew attention of the audience to it and a lot of you supported me in this. Thank you once again for that. One thing that I've noticed is that Radiant Echoes is still glitchy. It's still glitchy. Some of those events, some of those memories that are around the map, they are a little bit glitchy. Some of them simply arbitrarily, intermittently, they lose the progress bar. They do not show me the progress bar. For example, it happened several times on the Webbed Crusaders event. I will even tell you specifically which one. In the Northrend that was happening. If something is wrong, if you see that something is wrong with your UI, say the progress bar disappeared, but the event seems to be on. Event is going on the map, you kind of flew there, but the progress bar disappeared. First tip, leave it, leave it. You will not get experience for it, go do something else. Second thing, even if you're something as stoic and as robust as a Death Knight, for example, alt, this one that I rolled, do not, when you are low level, while you don't have yet defensive abilities, while you don't yet have defensive talents placed properly, while you don't have yet a proper build, or at least 1/3 of even a proper build, you will pull too much and you will die. I know we kind of forgot how it is. We forgot that effect of dying, because in Mists of Pandaria we have been ridiculously overpowered, and at level 70 or close to 70 we were so overpowered that we forgot what it is to be 30. Level 30. Oh, I forgot what it is to be 30 in real life as well, believe it or not. So my point is, do something. Don't be just a leech. Don't just fly around and do nothing. That would be like, that's where is fun in that. That is just really being super passive. I guess you can do it if you're watching Netflix, but I suggest help. Do something, okay? And secondly, don't be overzealous. Don't be overzealous. Particular glitchy, or I'm just even gonna give you here to make it worth your while that you was watching this video and clicked on this video. I'm gonna give you a very practical, subjective opinion on the best and worst memories to hunt. So let's go Dustwallow Marsh. Dustwallow Marsh is my least favorite zone in Radiant Echoes, but obviously I still would participate in Dustwallow Marsh event. I would always go for individual big kills like King Gordok, Garzilla on the coast, Mosh. I would go for Mosh, the Tyrannosaurus. Yeah, so I would kill them as a priority. That's what I would do. I would not do Crystal Power, simply because fewer people for some reason are doing it, so you will be alone there running around gathering this, unless it's very peak time, like prime time, and a lot of players are on the server. So you will simply struggle there to finish quickly, and you will lose the momentum of leveling relatively quickly. I would prioritize Deviant Delights, simply because it's fun to be turned into a pirate or into a ninja, depending. And that's probably it about Dustwallow Marsh. Dustwallow Marsh, generally, I'm not a fan. Tell me in the comments down below if you like Dustwallow Marsh, and how do you deal with all those freaking trees in the face of your camera all the time. I hate Dustwallow Marsh, okay? My second least favorite, so kind of second place, goes to the Northrend. Northrend is obviously a lot more open, a little bit easier to fly around and navigate, so it's kind of more palpable than Dustwallow Marsh for me. And once again, I would go for individual big boss kills. First, I would go for In the Mountains, for Thorim fight. I would go for the Trial of the Ardent, whatever it's called, you know, where the champions of the Ardent tournament come out, the Jaraxxus. You fight Jaraxxus there at the top. And yeah, I would probably focus on that. I do Web Crusaders, but I noticed that Web Crusaders, particularly Webbed Crusaders memory, and the Burn It With Fire one, whatever it's called, Purge With Fire or something, they are most prone to memories in Northrend to glitch out. For some reason, even when I joined, I do something there, I don't get experience. It happened to me maybe 3-4 times. So it's like not just once, it happened 3-4 times. So those two, they are prone to glitching out. Plus, in Northrend, there are a couple of events that I find simply stupid. Primarily, for example, Blade That's Fit for the Champion. The one where you need to kiss the frogs or some other stupid stuff you're doing. I absolutely am not a fan of that one. Subjectively, I just find it stupid. Okay, it's a bit one of those things that I always found about World of Warcraft, where they take it a little bit too far on the goofy scale. I get fun, and I understand the whole World of Warcraft is a bit goofy, right? But that is a little bit pushing it for me, okay? That's pushing it for me. That's about Northrend. And my favorite one is Searing Gorge. It just happens to be my favorite one. I like Searing Gorge, I don't even know why. The feel is better, Ragnaros is better, the events are somehow better positioned towards each other. I simply prefer them. I hate, as much as you do, I hate those when those bosses, such as Hoga, when they do fear. I hate running around, and Hoga is probably my least favorite one of all individual bosses across those 3 zones. But I do kill Hoga just as much as everyone else. And my absolute favorite memory is Stitches, simply because he's cute, simply because it's one of my most favorite true memories of World of Warcraft in Duskwood. And that was my first proper fear experienced as a player. Back then I was young and I still had a hairline, I think. It was a long time ago. So Stitches are amazing. Hoga, doable. Avoid Haka. Avoid Haka, simply because Haka has that very specific spell where he mind controls and then kinda instantly drains you of your life. Basically, you can die there much quicker than you think. It's not even about pure damage, but it's about simply what he does, which is why I wouldn't do that, okay? So Haka, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying if Haka is happening and nothing else is happening, fly over it, see when a more sturdy, more brave adventurers are already bringing him down to, say, like 20% of health left, then pile on and kick him in the bum a couple of times and he's dead. So don't give him a chance to kill you, but Haka will kill you. Then I am quite a fan of gnome literation or whatever, somehow. It's just leper gnome obliteration. It's just a fun one, and it's also a fond memory from when I used to play the game back in the day, and it was actually a quest of that time and day. Then you would do pumpkins, and you would do South Shore versus Terran Mill. Terran Mill actually is up there. Terran Mill versus South Shore is one of my favorite ones, Stitches and Terran Mill and South Shore, simply because it does resemble a battlefield, it does resemble a little bit more fun than just chore ticking kind of stuff. There is a bit of gameplay to it, let me put it that way. Yeah, that's how I'm going to put it. So, that's cool. I would avoid collecting pages in the Green Hills event. I would avoid grind. I would absolutely avoid, by every stretch of imagination, I would avoid trying to collect that premium quality liver from the boars. Don't do it, don't waste your time. Do more efficient ones that everyone goes to, okay? Once again, can you level right now in Radiant Echoes? Yes, and you can level quite well. I am not doing any number crunching here, but just from the feeling perspective, I would say it's probably at about 80% speed of Pandaria. Pandaria was probably 20 to 30% faster to level, but there is gameplay to it. It's a very easy way to spend an evening with a cup of tea and the Netflix here on the phone next to you as you're watching it and flying around and doing it. And plus, just create another combination of your favorite class and a race you don't have, for example. That's what I would do. Just delete them. Just delete them. I deleted a whole bunch of alts right now in preparation for the War Within, simply to reduce the visual clutter and reduce duplication. I had like 3 warlocks, 2 druids, two of each, you know? So I started deleting that kind of stuff. That's hardly a problem. And that, in my humble opinion, my friends, once again, is the right way to do it. Final thing. The best thing about it, as opposed to Pandaria, is the fact that as you're leveling a character right now, you're also organically accumulating the Radiant Echo currency that allows you to buy pretty decent 480 gear for your further alts in your warband or for this particular alt that you are leveling. That is the biggest benefit, because Pandaria gear is not transferring. Those characters, even though some of you tried to convince me in the comments that the default 4, 6, 3, whatever they're going to be given upon transfer gear is okay, I think anything below 480 is not okay anymore at this stage of the game, which is why leveling in Radiant Echoes is better. And that's it, my friends. That's a blast for you very quickly. 1 week remaining for those of us who didn't spend extra money and are not going to be in early access to the War Within. Are you with me, or are you playing next week? Good for you if you are. Please keep the spoilers to the minimum in my comments. I am serious about that. Give this video a quick like, because there are some of us who are still hanging out here by the campfire. You're very welcome here as well. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you next week about something else, anticipation of the War Within, something else related very soon. Goodbye for now.